Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda and today I'm playing with my Counterfeit Kit challenge and off the board from Pineapple Papers. So I pulled out some embellishments from my Counter Kit and paper, and off the board today is a sketch. So I chose this sketch, which is from Citrus Twist, and I'm going to scrapbook this picture of the top part of my hat with a moth on it. And I pulled out all of these dollar store butterflies to go along with this butterfly basic gray paper. I have 3 more of those basic gray papers, or 2 more at least, 2 more and a little bit. But it's such a pretty paper, I don't know why I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to use some of it today. So there is the sketch again, and I'm going to get going here and speed it up. So I am going to do some packaging on this and some stitching. So I'll show you all of the packaging I do. I don't show all of the stitching because the stitching was a good portion of this process today, and it would have been really boring to watch me stitch for almost an hour. So it does take quite a bit of time to do that part of things. But so I'm going to put this on white cardstock. I'm going to bring in, cut this down to 12 by 12 because it's not quite there. I should double check to see if these actually fit in my page protectors. Maybe I don't have to do this, but I don't know. I cut them down anyway, so maybe I should look. So then I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm going to come out of each of the butterflies to begin with at an angle, because I do want this top portion to kind of look like the top portion in the sketch. It had kind of like raised, but it looked like pattern paper and hearts on the different lines. And so I'm going to do it a little bit differently, but take inspiration from the sketch. And so here's my rays, but I'm going to put a butterfly on each of them and I'm going to stitch them. So that was a lot of work. I was in the mood for stitching, so I don't mind stitching. It's just not feasible to put all the stitching on a video because, yeah, this process took me an hour and 45 minutes. So with a video that's not quite 15 minutes long, you can see how much of the actual stitching took me to do. And I think probably a good portion of an hour, maybe longer. I'm deciding on which of these butterflies that I'm going to use. These came out of 2 different packs from the dollar store, but I like them. Some of them are bigger, obviously, and are a little harder to use, but I think they're pretty, and a lot of them have, I think actually all of them have a little bit of gold foil on them, so they've got a little bit of a sparkle, and so yeah. And I want a good amount of color on the top. The bottom is reds and browns and blacks and grays and a little bit of green, kind of a little bit of blue, I guess, looking at it too. But I wanted to have a lot more color on the top part of it, so I chose those, not in rainbow order at all, but kind of spread out. I only put one of the pink ones on because I did want to tie in the color of my hat, but yeah. And so now I'm just marking where the top and the bottom of the butterfly is, so I know which lines I can erase, because I don't want to try and erase all of this after I've done my sprays on it, because that's a little harder to do. I do end up having to erase a couple of them after, and they were erased really well with my vinyl eraser, but if you don't have to, don't. So, and then I'm actually labeling them where the butterfly is going on what color they are too. So that one says orange, or just OR, and then like the lime one is lime, so that I know where they go. And then that helps me with my packaging a bit. So we've got that, and then I'm going to do my packaging. So I pulled out my Tim Holtz sprays, I pulled out some of my Color Vibes, my Color Theory, my Nuvo, and I'm just pulling colors that will match the butterflies. So this one's like a very lime green, and it does give like a little bit of yellow as well, but lime green, look at that, it is so bright. And yeah, I actually have my tattered angels here too that I'm going to use. So, and then I don't want the colors to mix too much. On the page it was okay, but before I get there I don't want to. So I'm just going to wipe off my paper as I go. This one is Color Vibes. And then this is a Heidi Spot one. Like literally, whatever colors I was feeling. I didn't stick with manufacturer or anything today. Sometimes I do, but not always. This is a color 301, and it is like an orangey color. And obviously the nozzle was clogged, but whatever. I think most of the color 301s are clogged, except for the one I use in a minute, and it is not. And it goes actually on my shirt, but so I had to take a quick little break to fix that one. But and then some Tim Holtz to get some different kind of shimmer in there. So most of these do have some shimmer to begin with, but the shimmer is a little different for each of them. So that one's a little bit of coppery. Just pulling that in to see what it looks like. And then I have more blue. And I'm just going like wherever. There's not really a rhyme or reason, just where there's a spot. This one is Tattered Angels, and it's granite, and it gives a little bit of a gray, but when it's really thin, it just gives it a shimmer. So you can see some of that gray there, but it does add lots and lots of shimmer to the page. And then I use this one, and that's where I have to clean up my shirt. And it is red, and I was looking at it and I'm like, do I want to? Oh, it's on here, I'm gonna do it. And I gave myself heart palpitations, and I went, oh my god, did I ruin this? Ugh. Oh well. And I'm debating on literally grabbing a new piece of paper and starting over, but it's all here, and these are all gonna go on top, and you're not gonna see a lot of that red, so it's not gonna look like somebody bled all over it in a minute. It actually dries quite a bit lighter than what it is now too, so that helps a lot. But I really wanted to tie in like a little bit of that cherry color on the bottom, so I'm like, okay, this will work. All right, yeah, I can make that work, is what I'm thinking. I'm like, all right, now embroidery thread. So I have some in here and I have some in another spot. I'm just pulling out threads that match the different color of butterflies. I want a different color for each of them. So the greens are all different. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different greens. I do actually use a craft thread for the lime one and the yellow one, which gives a different texture too. And then I'm going to use the outside of this stencil along the line, because I can. Oh, and drying it first, because poking through wet paper is not fun. Some of it's still a little wet and I have to be careful with it, and so I'm gonna show you this one, and then it's gonna go all the way to the end, and I'm literally lining it up with the pencil line, using my needle with the foam and just poking it through, and that's how I make my holes. And then I don't have to think about distancing and where it's at and any of it. It's just those are all straight and the same distance apart, and so yay. I'm going to draw around my photo so I don't use more embroidery thread than I need to. And I'm going to show you a little bit of my first one. So the orange one's going there, the yellow's going up here. I'm going to show you a little bit of the orange. So I'm going to use all 6 threads because it gives a lot more definition. And I am using an embroidery needle, so that helps with all 6 threads. And then I am literally just doing a backstitch. So in one, out the other, in. This is how I secure the back. is just feed part of the tail through and back through and up and back through. And I'm going to do that for all of them. So, and then this is the last part of the last green one that I did. And then to finish it, I just wrap it through the stitches underneath. And then I don't have to add any tape or anything to it. They'll stay just fine. I put my needle away, and that looks pretty good. And so I did clean up a bit and then decided maybe I should show you my background before I get everything on there. So all of those colors and the stitching, I'm quite happy with it. That red is still bothering me a little bit, but after I get all those butterflies on it, I'm not going to be upset about it. So this takes actually, with all of the packaging technique on here and all of these butterflies, it takes minimal embellishment. So I literally put a title on it and use foam to get the wings to stay up. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. I will add a map to my photo as well. So I'm just reading what it says for which one goes where. I decided this one doesn't need to go in that bottom corner. It's just going to get lost anyway. So I'm going to use my eraser to erase. And then here I decided that I definitely needed to map my photo. I just wanted it to pop a little bit with all of that color around it. I was thinking it was getting a little bit lost. So I'm just adding, I think it's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Actually, a little less than that because my photo is 4x4 and this is 4 1/4 square. So, and on, I'm also going to add some glue just to make sure it sticks well, because there is all of the stitching and the mixed media in that background. And then make sure it's straight. And now I'm going to take foam from this big foam roll and I am going to put it underneath all of the wings. So yeah, all of the wings. So most of them get at least one, some of them get doubled up, and it adds a lot of dimension to my page. And then I decided I did need a title, and I have these old gold ones. I got them in a hip kit club a long time ago, and I'm going to call this Stay a While, because the moth did stay a while on my hat, and why not? I can be tongue-in-cheek a little bit. And so I tried underneath. That's where it was in the sketch. And I'm not liking that so much. I feel like it's getting lost. It's getting lost on the page. It also gets lost in real life. That doesn't always happen, but this is a little bit of fossilized amber to add a little bit more gold sparkle. And then I'm like, I'm not happy with that placement. So it is going to come up here. Actually, not quite that far up. It's going to come down a little. That stay is going to come down a little bit. The while is going to line up with the pattern paper line. And the stay is going to come down and nestle. And then just the dot. And I like that. And it is done. So the close-ups will be to follow. If you loved how this came together today, please like, subscribe, and share some crafty love in the comments. Blogs, playlists, and links are always shared in the description box below. Until next time, make sure you stay inspired, scrappy, and full of ideas. And thanks for being here. There'll be some other videos here that you might want to take a look at from me. Thanks again for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.